Hi betting experts, on Wednesday the 17th of June we're going to Royal Ascot, day 2. The ground on the easy side are good, the weather forecast mixed to put it politely, loads of showers in the forecast, things could ease. I have made our selections with that in mind, although the ground rarely gets too bad for this meeting and it's all pretty fresh turf after yesterday. First of all, we'll start off with our value angle selection. This is in the 335, the Royal Handicap, over a mile, 3-year-olds and upwards, 24 runners, just over £48,000 on offer to the winner. The one I'm very keen on is David Barron's Kinwren. Now this one is an Ascot specialist with a terrific record over the straight mile here and a brilliant record at Ascot. He was very unlucky in this race in 2019 when finishing 5th of 28 behind a Fark, racing on the wrong side of the track as things panned out, winning the race there, bursting clear, but finding 4 in front of him on the other side. And the Fack quickening up smartly to win. He's always run well at Ascot. He's got ideal conditions. He goes well if there's a little bit of give in the ground. He's had a sighter. All of the yards runners have been needing a run, and it was a similar story for him behind Space Blues at Haydock on the 7th of June. Only beaten 5 lengths there, 9th of 10, far from disgrace, not given a hard time. It was a perfect sighter for this race. He's 12 to 1 this morning. I think it's a very fair price. Play each way, play with firms offering 6 places and upwards. You're getting terrific value for your money. I think he'll give his running again. He needs luck. He's ridden from off the pace, but they're bound to go as strong gallop as usual in this huge field. And I'll be disappointed if he wasn't in the first 6, granted a little bit of daylight. For our nap of the day, we go to the 3 o'clock, the feature race of the day, the Prince of Wales' Stakes, over nearly a mile 2, a Group 1 for 4-year-olds and up, but only 7 runners, £148,000 to the winner. I think Aidan O'Brien's Japan is the standout form choice. He's reportedly been working really well at home, and all of O'Brien's have been flying. He's giving his strike rate around 20% in the first couple of weeks of the season. Japan, very progressive 3-year-old last season, winning 3 of his 6 starts at Ascot here at the Royal Meeting when beating Bangkok, one of the most impressive winners of the week in the King Edward VII Stakes, storming clear of that reliable performer over a mile 4. He's not short of speed. He won at York in the Juddmonte, edging out the prolific Crystal Ocean on the nod in a terrific battle, and you could argue on the figures he posted a career best effort when 4th of 12 behind Waldgeist and Enable in the Prix d'Arc de Triomphe at Longchamp in October. That was a really good run. He's likely to be fit. The drop back in trip holds no terrors at all, with the ground easing to perfection, and I think he's a class above all of these rivals. Perhaps the main danger will be the prolific 6-year-old Barney Roy of Charlie Appleby's, but I do think Japan, there's a bit of odds against. I'll be quite happy to take evens. Looks a maximum bet to me. Be disappointed if he's beaten. Right, spinning through the remaining 5 races at Royal Ascot, starting off in the 1:15, a new race, the Silver Royal Hunt Cup Handicap, a consolation race for those who didn't get in the Hunt Cup later in the week. An interesting race. It looks at least 8 or 10 to 1 the field. My 2 for small stakes would be Smile a Mile and Nicklaus. Smile a Mile is Mark Johnson trained handicapper who should be 100% fit, plenty of racing on the all-weather this winter, racking up a string of seconds and looking more than a bit unlucky on a couple of occasions not to have won. He's exactly the sort of Mark Johnson handicapper who'll be running every couple of weeks throughout the summer months. Seems sure to go well. He does have the odd quirk, but there's nothing wrong with his turf form. Last season he was a winner at Pontefract back in August off a mark of 88. A very similar mark now after a busy spell on the all-weather. I think he's sure to go well and reward each way support. And Nicklaus, William Haggis, not unexposed this one, but just gradual improvement run to run, and I thought he was quite an unlucky loser on a couple of occasions last season in useful handicaps. Moving on to the 150, the Hampton Court Stakes, over nearly a mile 2, a Group 3 for 3-year-olds and upwards, 8 runners, an interesting shape here, but I do think First Receiver will take an awful lot of beating Sir Michael Stout. This colt has only had 3 starts and improved to win a Kempton Maiden on the 2nd of June, back down to 11 to 8 favouritism and absolutely slaughtering the field, making most of the running at quite a brisk pace and quickening clean away over a furlong out under more to win by 7 lengths from Defence Girl. Visually, it was a stunning performance, and considering the Polytrack was riding slow that day, I was really impressed. Now, this is a big jump straight into a Group 3, but Sir Michael doesn't waste runs on these sort of horses. They're realistically placed to win, and I think this one will take an awful lot of beating, with perhaps Juan Alcano the main danger, fresh from an excellent run in the 2000 Guineas. The 225 is the King George V handicap over 1 mile 4. 6-1 the field, bigger for looking on the exchanges. My 2 against the field were Kipps and Bright Melody. I think Kipps will go really close. Again, if you can play each way here, that would be the move. Look for some enhanced places. Hughie Morrison does really well with these sort of horses. Only had 3 runs in his life. Touched off when smashed in the market on the 7th of June at Haydock, beaten by Walk On By, with the pair really pulling clear rapidly, 3 1/4 lengths clear of the third Glen Ties there. And really, I thought Kipps, it was down to jockey error by David Pro, but he didn't win. He was dropped out nearly last. His run got blocked a few times, and he just got mugged right on the line by Walk On By. He's miles ahead of his mark in the low 80s. I'm expecting him to be giving 100 a nudge by the end of the season. If the run doesn't come too soon, which is a slight question mark, he did have quite a hard race at Haydock, he should go really close. Softer ground holds no terrors to him. He'll get a strong pace to help him settle, and with luck he must go close. Moving on to the last couple of races, again it's a brilliant card at Ascot. We move on to the 410, the Windsor Castle Stakes, a listed contest for 2-year-olds only, 20 runners, just over £23,000. We've got a real speedball in Sunshine City, likely to blaze the trail for Wesley Ward under Dettori. Sure to go well and take the catching, but perhaps soft ground might just stop him getting home. And at the prices, I like Tactical, who's a double-figure price this morning. Andrew Balding flying, and I think he's had an 18% strike rate since racing resumed. He's had 10 winners. This one was strong in the market at Newmarket on the 4th of June on debut, shaping really nicely behind Eye of Heaven under a considerate ride from Wesley Murphy. He parked in on the rail and not being able to get out from 2 out, but running on, finishing on the heels of the leaders with running left in him, and I think he'll improve a chunk for that. The softer ground is an unknown, but he looks a strong stayer at this trip, and I can see him coming through late at a double-figure price. Very fair value. And finally, the 440, a new race, the Copper Horse Handicap over 1 mile 6, Class 2 for 4-year-olds and upwards, 19 runners, and this looks a fantastic opportunity for Fajera Prince to go really close on seasonal debut. This one was a massive eye-catcher at the Royal Meeting last year, and the Duke of Edinburgh, heavily supported favourite, and most unlucky not to get a run through, running on really strongly late for 3rd behind Baghdad. That was very eye-catching. He's been laid out for the race since. He's low mileage for a 6-year-old, and I think he'll go really close. Best of luck on Wednesday, betting experts.